Yep. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We learn Mishna is Erevin, Perek Yud, chapter 10, Mishna Aleph. Okay. Hamoitze tefillin. Interesting case. You find tefillin. You're out in a field, and there's pairs of tefillin out there in the field. How they get there? Must have been a tefillin seller whose pairs of tefillin fell out, whatever it may be. But you found tefillin. You found them in a field. Now, out there in the field, not very safe. The thing is that the case here is that in order to bring them to safety, you're going to have to walk through a Rishus Harabim. You got to go through a public domain, which is a problem of carrying things through a public domain on Shabbos, especially from a public domain to a private domain, etc. So, what is this person going to do to be able to? What should a person be doing? What does a person have to do in order to be able to protect the tefillin? So the first opinion is machnis and zug. You bring them in pair by pair. What that means is that according to this opinion, you put on a pair of tefillin, put it on, even though it's Shabbos, you put on the tefillin, go through the private domain, go through the public domain, get yourself to a protected place, take them off and put them down there. And you know how many times you do this? Until you took care of all of them. Go back to the field, put on a pair of tefillin, get them out. Go back, put on a pair of tefillin, get them out. This is what you do. Rabbi Gamliel says, Shnayim. No, you don't just do one pair at a time. You do two pairs at a time.
One is the Rashi's.
You wear two pairs of tefillin at a time. If you think about it, the area that you have between on your head, at least, even on your arm, it seems a little bit harder. But if you have small tefillin, which is what in many years ago they made small tefillin, there's enough room on your arm for two of them. There's enough room on your head for two of them. So according to Rabbi Gamliel, don't just take one at a time, take two at a time. So what's going on? So what's going on is like this. There is a question. Practically speaking, we do not wear tefillin on Shabbos. The question is it because there is no mitzvah of tefillin on Shabbos? Which, according to some opinions, that is why we don't wear tefillin on Shabbos, because there is no mitzvah of tefillin on Shabbos. And others say, no, there is a mitzvah of tefillin on Shabbos. However, the sages were afraid that you're going to wear your tefillin. Now, you have to also keep in mind that the way tefillin is supposed to be done and how in the times the Mishna was done, you wore tefillin a whole day. Not just by davening. You wore tefillin a whole day. And when you went to the bathroom, you took them off. And when you came out, you put them back on. You wore tefillin a whole day. So the problem is that the sages were concerned that maybe the strap is going to break. One of the straps is going to break. The tefillin won't be usable anymore. And you'll land up, and what are you going to do with it? You're going to just let it stay there. You're not going to stay there. You're going to carry it back. You may end up carrying it through a public domain, which you're not allowed to do. So to prevent this kind of a problem, to prevent this kind of mistake, the Chavim said, no wearing tefillin on Shabbos. So whether you hold there's a mitzvah tefillin on Shabbos or not, from the Torah, from the Raisa, from the Torah's point, practically speaking, the Chavim said you don't do it.
This does not make the muktzah.
It's a separate discussion.
Okay.
Now, here the issue is like this. Clearly, you're not supposed to be wearing tefillin. Right? And you can't carry, it's Shabbos. But look, there's tefillin out there in the field. What are you going to do? You got to do something about them. So you need to find some kind of a way. So the Chachamim said like this: look, if we need to permit this. We need to permit this. Now again, from the point of their prohibition that they said about wearing tefillin, they have the power to do that. But there's some other issues involved. So let's go through it. According to the first opinion, you're taking out pair by pair. So he says like this. He holds, as the Bartanur explains, the Gemara explains, that there is a mitzvah of tefillin on Shabbos. There's a mitzvah of tefillin on Shabbos. The Chachamim said, don't wear it. But there's a mitzvah, but really from the Torah's point, it's a mitzvah of tefillin on Shabbos. Now, if there is a mitzvah of tefillin on Shabbos, wearing tefillin is like wearing a jacket. It's like it's a garment, something you're supposed to be wearing. And what you wear, it's something that's considered a garment, something that's meant to be worn on Shabbos. You could wear it no matter where you are. So once there is a mitzvah of tefillin on Shabbos, so from the Torah's point, there's no problem wearing it because you wouldn't be carrying from the point of Shabbos. And the Chachamim basically waived the prohibition in order to save these tefillin. But according to the first opinion, you can only do one pair at a time. Why? Because if a person puts on 2 pairs of tefillin, let's say he decides I'm wearing 2 pairs of tefillin. Let's just keep it that way right now, okay? Person says I'm wearing 2 pairs of tefillin. I want to wear 2 pairs of tefillin at a time. So what's he? So is he? Oh, so he's doing the mitzvah extra, right? But that's a problem. There's a prohibition called Baal Tosef. You can't add on to a mitzvah. If you decide I don't want 4 tzitzis, I want 5 tzitzis. Can't do that. You can't add on to the mitzvah. So if you hold that there is a mitzvah to wear tefillin on Shabbos and I wear 2 pairs at a time, I'm adding to the mitzvah what I'm adding to the mitzvah. Either I'm adding to the mitzvah, it looks like I'm adding to the mitzvah, but it looks like you're saying I want to wear 2 pairs at a time for the mitzvah. And that's Baal Tosef. That's called adding to the mitzvah. So therefore, you can't do that from the point of just you can't wear the 2 pairs of tefillin, because by doing so, you're now adding. He may not wear 2 pairs because wearing an extra pair of tefillin on a day that the Torah says the mitzvah applies is forbidden by the Torah under the prohibition of Baal Tosef, of adding to it. Now, furthermore, if I'm forbidden to wear the 2nd pair of tefillin and I do, then that's considered carrying also. Because I'm not supposed to be doing it. I'm not supposed to be wearing it. 2nd pair of tefillin, I'm not supposed to be wearing. I'm not supposed to be wearing it. Then you can't call it a garment or a needed garment. So according to the Tanna Kama, if there is a mitzvah to wear tefillin on Shabbos, which there is, so I can wear 1 pair because there is the mitzvah, and therefore it's a garment. It's not called carrying on Shabbos. I can't wear 2 pairs because I'm not allowed to put on an extra pair because I can't add to the mitzvah of the Torah. And if I would, I'd let it be carrying, because then I can't consider it a garment, because I'm not supposed to be wearing it. So therefore, the Tanna Kama says, what you do is 1 pair at a time. Rabbi Gamliel says, no, 2 pairs at a time. Why? Because according to Rabbi Gamliel, there is no mitzvah of tefillin on Shabbos. There's no mitzvah of tefillin on Shabbos, which really means, therefore, it's not a garment, right? It's not a garment. So now, if it's not a garment, what am I doing? How can I even wear it? Right? Something not a garment I can't wear. If you decide you're going to put your key on your shoulder, oh, I'm wearing it. Keys aren't worn, right? Even if you tie it on a string, it's not worn. It's not considered a garment. So according to Rabbi Gamliel, these tefillin aren't a garment. Nonetheless, the Rabbanan said that in order to save the tefillin, we can look at the tefillin like an ornament. We can look at it like a ring. Look at it like a piece of jewelry. We can look at it as an ornament. In order to be able to save, in order to be able to do something here, to be able to go ahead and carry it back, we can look at it as an ornament. If we look at it as an ornament, then you can wear 2 pairs of tefillin, because it's 2 ornaments. And there's no problem of adding to the mitzvah, because according to Rabbi Gamliel, there is no mitzvah on Shabbos. So if there's no mitzvah on Shabbos, I'm not adding to anything. So therefore, Rabbi Gamliel says that I go ahead and I can wear both. I can wear both. Okay. Now, fine. So that's the first part of the Mishnah. So we say you have a machlokes in the first part of the Mishnah. You find the tefillin. We don't want you leaving them there. What do? Either according to the Tanna Kama, wear 1 pair at a time, or according to Gamliel, you can wear 2 pairs at a time, because the assumption is 2 pairs could fit. You can't put a pair of tefillin on the back here. That's not going to help you. But you have enough on the head and the arm to carry 2 tefillin. So therefore, Gamliel says that you should do. That's how you should do it. That's how you do it. And although the Chachamim, said we're not supposed to be wearing tefillin on Shabbos, nonetheless, in order to be able to save them, we are allowed to. And regarding the problem of carrying through Rishus Harabim, even according to Gamliel, that it's not a mitzvah, it's not a garment, we can at least look at it as an ornament, and therefore you can wear 2 at a time. Now, when do we say this? When do we say that? Again, you find them, you need to save them. The yeshanis, if they're old, but if they're new, you're exempt. Now, I'm not really sure how to understand this, but I'll read it to you. If the tefillin are old, listen to this, then even if its straps are untied, right? They're untied. The thing in the back is untied. The thing in the arm, untied. It's just, you may have it would seem to me that you have your box, at the bias, you have some straps, but they're not tied on, okay? The markings left by the knots are discernible, but you can look on the straps. You could see there used to be knots here. These markings prove that they are indeed tefillin. But if the tefillin are new, and the straps are untied, there is no way to tell whether they are real tefillin or an amulet, an ornament containing mystical words that is worn to protect from evil. And this person may decide, he wants his amulet to look like tefillin, but it's only an amulet. It's not tefillin. It wasn't made to be tefillin. Since they may not be tefillin, wearing them in a Rishus Rabbim on Shabbos is forbidden. Even an amulet that has the same contents as the tefillin is not sacred because it's not made in accordance with the halacha for the sake of the mitzvah. Meaning, just because you wrote to say everything that's in tefillin is here, but if you didn't write it for the purpose of tefillin, that doesn't have the sanctity of tefillin. So therefore, although the Chachamim went ahead and said, if we're to be tefillin, we can find a way for you to be able to wear them and to bring them out. Nonetheless, if it's not tefillin or not sure if it's tefillin, then you can't do it. Then you can't wear them. You can't wear them, or even save them. If although the rabbis permitted wearing tefillin or Rishus Harabim to spare them from desecration, the law applies only where they are certainly tefillin and not where their status is in doubt. Okay, so that's the next part of the Mishnah. If you know that they are tefillin, if you know they're tefillin, then we let you go ahead and wear them, and let them wear them. Take them through Rishus Harabim. We can make it work, but only if it's actually tefillin. Now, next, mitzaan svasim oikrichais. This means he found them. He found svasim means he found them tied in many pairs. Oikrichais, or he found large bundles of them. Okay, basically, his case is he finds a lot of pairs of tefillin. And even if he were to go ahead and wear either one at a time or two at a time, he will not be able to finish before Shabbos is over. That many. Now, it could be it's late in the day too. But the Gemara is assuming that, there's got to be a lot of them if you're not going to be able to do this. Now, what that means is that if I can't finish it before Shabbos, it means after Shabbos, I got to go back anyway. I got to go back anyway after Shabbos to finish up. In that case, if I can't finish it before Shabbos, the Mishnah says, Machshir chalein maviyan. Stand there and guard them until Shabbos ends, and then bring them out. You got to protect the tefillin. You can't let them get desecrated. So you have to machshach, means you wait there with them until Shabbos is over, and then you bring them in. Okay, now, ubisakana, let's say it's a time of danger. That means there was a time where the Roman government, or whichever government, whatever foreign country was ruling Eretz Yisrael at the time, forbade the performance of mitzvahs. If you were found anywhere near tefillin, you were in big trouble. Whether you're wearing them, protecting them. Now, this guy, if he's going to stand there, he can become very noticeable, and they'll see what he's doing, and they'll see them protecting tefillin, they'll kill him. So what do you do then? What you do is you go ahead and you cover them, and you leave them. Just cover them up and leave them. Now, we need a couple of things here. Let me just, then this is important. The Bartenura brings it down. So again, we're saying if it's dangerous, right? It's dangerous. They'll kill you for being by the tefillin. So then you just cover them up, cover them up out of respect. Maybe by covering them, they'll be protected and go. So sakana means a danger to life. Let's say the issue is that by standing there until it gets dark, right? You're gonna get robbed. You're standing in one place in an area, in a field. You're open to getting attacked. So what happens then? So let me treat you this. But if the danger is that he might be attacked by thieves, he is not allowed to abandon the tefillin because he has another meaning. The problem is like this: If you stand there and wait with them, you're gonna get attacked. Okay, but we say you can't abandon the tefillin in that case because he has another means by which to save them all before nightfall, namely that he can carry many pairs less than 4 amas at a time. In this way, he does not commit the biblical transgression of carrying an object 4 amas in a public domain. Although this method of carrying is forbidden by rabbinic law, the rabbis lifted this prohibition for the sake of protecting tefillin. That means like this. There, according to the Torah, according to the Torah law, and we said there's a prohibition of carrying in a public domain 4 cubits, right? Or even carrying from one domain, a public domain, to private domain, and vice versa. You have to pick it up and you transfer it. If you're talking about carrying in a public domain, that means you pick it up and you walk 4 amas, 4 cubits. And if you do that, you've transgressed. How about if I walk 1 cubit and stop, and another cubit and stop, and another cubit and stop? I walk less than 4 amas at a time. According to Torah law, no prohibition. It's only 4 cubits at a time. Rabbinic law says you can't do that. Now, the Mishna is saying like this. In a situation where the problem is thieves, if it's dangerous to life, you don't want to be seen next to these things. You know, it's dangerous. You can't do anything about it. Just cover it up. If there's no danger at all, then we say, look, you've got enough time to bring it back. If you have enough time to finish the job before Shabbos, wear a pair at a time. You can't wait there until Shabbos is over. But there really is another option that clearly we don't want you using unless you have to. That option is take the tefillin, okay? Take the tefillin, right? Take the tefillin and carry it less than 4 cubits at a time. You know, scoop up a bunch and carry and go a few cubits, stop, then go another few cubits and stop. Take you a long time to do it. But by doing that, you're not transgressing. You're not doing the act of transferring the public domain according to Torah law. It's only a rabbinic prohibition. So if you'd be able to wait until it gets dark, we'd say wait until it gets dark. But if it's dangerous, not dangerous to life, it's dangerous because people are going to attack you, then we say, okay, so then carry it less than 4 cubits at a time. Carry less than 4 cubits at a time. That's the halacha. So when the Mishnah says at the end that if it's dangerous, cover them over, that's a danger to life. But if it's not a danger to life, it's a danger because you're going to be attacked. You won't necessarily be killed, but you'll be robbed. You'll be attacked in some way. Then we say you don't have to wait there you don't have to wait there till it gets dark and get attacked. Carry it less than 4 cubits at a time. But if there is no danger of anything, and you won't be able to finish the job by wearing them before Shabbos, then you wait there guarding them until Shabbos is over, then you bring them in. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
So they tell us